Come and join us. You'll be glad at the end that you did. Good to have you all here this morning. We've got a couple of visitors. That's lovely to have some visitors too. All right, the story I want to tell you this morning is one that comes from the Bible. And it's called The Two Sons. You all know what sons are, don't you? They're all the boys. You're Daddy's son. And another. You're a daughter, that's right. Okay, you've got that all sorted. He does, that's right. Okay. The man in this story had an orchard. What grew on the trees? Can you see what grew on the trees? Apples. Apples. And as well, he was keeping his eye on the apples to make sure as they grew and to know when they were going to be ripe. How did he know this one was ripe? Fell on his head, didn't it, as he walked in his orchard. So it was time to pick the apples. So what did he do? He went to ask his sons for help. He had two sons. We'll call them son number 1 in the red and son number 2 in the blue. When he went to son number 1, he was busy. He was busy making something. And Father said to him, "Son, I need you to come and help me pick the apples." And son number 1 said, "Sorry, Dad, I can't come and help you. I'm busy." Dad was a bit disappointed, but son number 1 kept doing his craft. But then he got thinking and he thought, I need to go and help Dad. So he picked up a basket and headed for the orchard. And as he did, he was very happy. Now, while he was out doing that, Dad went to see son number 2 with a basket, and he said the same thing to him. "Son, the apples are ripe. We need to go and pick them. I'd like you to help me." Son number 2 said, "Yes, Dad, I'm glad to help you. I've got to do a job first. I've got to put my boots on. I can't come without my boots." So Father went off down to the orchard while son number 2, he left him to put his boots on. Anyway, in the meantime, son number 1 was busy picking those apples, and it wasn't very long before he had a big basket full of apples. And then his father turned up with some more baskets because there were lots of apples to pick, and so they got picking together, having lots of fun together, aren't they? Meanwhile, back at the house, was son number 2 putting his boots on? No, he was having a sleep, wasn't he? All right, he'd gone sound asleep with a big smile in his face. Oh dear. So back at the orchard, Father and son number 1 kept picking the apples until they were all picked, and then they were able to take them home. And when son number 1 came home and found his brother was asleep, he teased him by saying, "Uh-oh, you were going to come and help Dad pick the apples, but you forgot." So which of those 2 boys do you think his father thought did the right thing? Number 1 or number 2? What about son number? What, we've lost a picture at the end there. That's all right. All right, and I want you to remember, the father was happy because son number 1, even though he said no, he wasn't going to help, he decided that he would come and help. Whereas son number 2, he had said, "No, I'm coming to help," but he didn't. It's always better to say you're going to do it and do it. So in our reaction when our parents ask us to do something, there's 2 ways that we can go. A bit of part of son number 1 and a bit of son number 2. Say yes, not no, and do it happily. All right, just to remind you of our story this morning, I've been busy picking apples too. Only I picked mine up at the fruit shop, not off the tree. So if you'd like to take an apple, you can all have an apple. They've been washed. All right, you can have an apple. Don't eat it in church. Keep it until lunch or some other time, all right? And remember to do what? All right, and now it's time for our service. A song first.